Good evening. Welcome to MightyOxTrading. Wednesday evening. We shall see what the markets have in store for us this evening. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's had a great day. Hope everyone had a green day. And I don't mean the rock band or grunge band or whatever they were considered. I don't even know if they're still around. Anyway, we had an interesting day in the markets. Oops. You can see here the NASDAQ pretty much came up all day. The long grind up, couple of pullbacks along the way, pretty much up almost 300 points, over 300 points actually. Pulling back just a bit so far since the open. You can see here on the 1-minute chart. Coming down. I almost entered short here. I didn't, and I regret that now. Because as you can see, it went about. Let's get it lined up right. There we go. Maybe. There. Went about 17 points. That's not a lot, but in the evenings, that's about what we're looking for. I'm usually looking for 10 to 15 points on a move on NQ in the evening. Good evening, Simeon. How are you doing? How was your day today? If we're looking for 15 points, we would have got that on both of these. So, that's where we sit now. ES, of course, making the same moves. Copper's been coming down. Copper had an amazing day. See here, just uptrended all day. Well, I shouldn't say all day. Came down a little bit at the start, but it bottomed out about 442 and all the way up to a high of like 462. So that's like 400 ticks. So I think that's like it's $5,000 copper did today. Speaking of copper, it's giving us a signal that it's breaking the bands. So let's see if it's breaking bands. We see NASDAQ heading back down here. Copper is coming down. Let's see what NQ's here doing. NQ sent us a short signal. It's now broken that a little bit of resistance. Let's find us ourselves an NQ chart real quick. See if we can jump in on this move. Might be a little bit late. Let's see. Okay, we're in on the NQ. Moving our stop down mightily here, about 7.5 points. Gonna move our target to 15 points. Might have got in too late here. Might be chasing. This might end up stopping us out. But we shall see. Was a late get in. But we have already been coming down all evening so far. So we'll see if this is a continuation. Like I said, my stop's only at about 7.5 points. So we'll see what we get. 3 micros. Hoping to change my luck. I've had all three days this week are red. Kind of sideways now. Did you trade today, Simeon? Kind of sideways on this trade. See if it goes anywhere. Stops me out. Be about, let's see, be about $45. Things were a little bit choppy today until like the afternoon. Then we had that nice move up in the afternoon. Seeing some movement down now. Do want to thank everyone for joining me this evening. Just getting started here on stream. Always feel free to say hello in the chat. Ask questions, comments, statements. Tell me how your trading's going or what you're trading. And of course, if you're here from YouTube, I definitely appreciate if you hit that like button. YouTube algorithm really likes it. It's an attention hound. Seeing some nice movement down. Watching it because we are getting a little bit on the oversold side on the 1 minute. We're down near that 20 line. We're up about $34 right now on this trade. Seeing a little bit of green here. Hopefully it's not a full reversal. Remember that most trades do not just go straight down, all green candles. I mean, all one color candle on the way down. You get pullbacks. Hello, Yusuf. Doing all right. How are you doing? We're up 7 points on this trade. We are getting pretty far down on that RSI. I'm watching that. Let's check the 5 minute. 5 minutes looking okay. There's a reversal of somewhat. Thinking of jumping out. Well, thank you. You must have had a couple good trades there. Great job. See this reversal here. Green candle up. Moving our stop down to above this candle right here. Yeah, let's move it to right above the SMA line. Hey Ben, welcome. Doing all right? How was your day? Uh, Rem, yeah, I believe Top Step has some sort of proprietary agreement with Trade but that may change since NinjaTrader bought out Trade last month. So we're all hoping that maybe Trade might eventually come to Earn the Trade or the others, but as of right now, Top Step's the only one with Trade. Hi, Helen, Crypto. Um, well, I'm partial to Earn the Trade, but if you have any questions, I can also, I mean, I'm not so partial to them that I wouldn't give you an honest answer based on various questions you may have or various attributes you're looking for. You're welcome, Rem. We're still in this NQ trade. 2 minutes before the top of the hour, which worries me a bit because things can flash up at the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. But I only at this point I'm only a risk of 5 points on this trade. So 5 points on 3 micros is like $30. So no reason not to stay in. Yeah, I love Tradeovate. That was the main thing I liked about Top Step. You know, I hate their rules. Especially hate their rules around trading news or the fact if you're funded, you can't trade around holidays. It's just that jumping through hoops to, I mean, their funded traders couldn't trade between Christmas and New Year's, and there was some amazing volatility that time, and they all had to sit that out. About 45 minutes, I'm sorry, 45 seconds to the top of the hour. See what pops. Usually we see a pop on copper at the 8 o'clock hour and possibly gold. So we'll watch all three of those. Kind of block out the UltraBond because nothing ever happens in the UltraBond in the evening. Blow that up some. Hopefully we'll see a push down here on NQ. If I had to rank them in order of my favorite prop firms, it would be Earn the Trade. There's that big move down in copper I was talking about. Earn the Trade, UProfit, Apex, Top Step, and Lilu. A lot of signals here. Check some of those. Well, truthfully, I mean, that's most of these firms, that's the major part of their business model, honestly. You know, only about 20% of people who start an evaluation ever pass. And all the firms know that. And it's not because they want people to fail or they try to make people fail. It's not that at all. But so many people aren't willing to do it right or put in the practice time, the learning time a lot of people just gamble, and there's been people have been known to. There was one guy that I heard reset 71 times. It's so, they're playing on the fact that people don't put in the effort and don't try, which is why when I tell people if they're going to start this, they should. I'm moving the stop to break even here. Still watching this NQ trade, see if it continues to head down. You know, they should really put in the effort beforehand so they have a better chance of passing once they start. In my opinion, the best way to approach these prop firms, and one day I got to do a video on this. There's a bunch of things I want to do videos on, but the best way to approach the prop firm, figure out what program you want to start. Is it a 25K account, 150, excuse me, 150K account, whatever one you plan on doing first. Then find yourself a simulator and sim trade the exact rules to the exact profit target on a simulator. Prove to yourself you can do it before you ever pay the money to actually go into the prop firm evaluation. That way you've proved to yourself you can do it, you've given yourself confidence, you've proved that your strategy or whatever it is you use is working, and that way you can, more likely than not, once you're in the evaluation, you can just repeat what you did in simulation, and you can just go and not have to pay for a reset, and hopefully, maybe not even pay for the second month of the subscription. I wish I had taken that path. I didn't. But that's what I tell everyone else to do. Excellent. Gold, big move up here on gold. We're still watching this trade here. It looks like it might want to reverse now. I'm trying to figure out what it wants to do on NQ. Gold's moving up. It's starting to get a little extended here on the 5-minute. Might see this reverse on the next 5-minute candle if it doesn't before. See, this is kind of on NQ here. We're kind of crawling back up to the SMA line. So I think we're only at $37, but I think we're going to cut this. Let's see. Let's see if this candle turns red or not. Oh, actually, I didn't realize my trailing stop jumped up. So it got far enough that my trailing stop moved up. I don't remember. Or maybe did I move it when I was talking? I don't remember moving it. I didn't hear the little cha-ching sound. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Maybe I don't have volume on. Maybe I should turn the volume on my headphones. There. The volume's on. We're seeing red again. We're watching. Watching, waiting, hoping. That's a nice move down. We're up 56. Excuse me. Hiccuping. Move our profit target up just a bit. Try and see if we can cash out on 2 and let the other one run. We'll try to get 10 points and see if we can get 10 points out of it on this. On 2. Okay. We're cashed out on 2. We're still in with 1. It'll trail. Small win there. 2 micros. Wish I had gone in with a regular size contract. Or move our stop right to the top wick of these candles here. This is about a five point trail from where we're at, the price action we're at now. There's that reversal on gold. Look here at the gold chart, you see it hit the well above the Bollinger Band and pulled back. We'll watch that. Good chance that this is going to be a red. Next 5-minute candle will be a red, unless this one turns red beforehand. If this one turns red beforehand, it could be a good sign to enter short. We'll watch it here on the 1 minute. Just kind of watching, waiting here. It's curling, trying to curl back up to the SMA. Our stop's below the SMA, so if it comes up to the SMA, we will get stopped. Yep. Solid green candle there. I mean, these are small candles, only 1 or 2 points. Okay, just took us out of that trade. So the trade's now done. Got $49 on that trade. Not bad. Good way to start the night. Enough for a cha-ching. And we look for our next opportunity. Only frustrating part about that trade was if I had just gone with a regular NQ, that would have been a $200 trade. But safety first. Now copper's bleeding out, which, honestly, I kind of expected after the big up yesterday. I really thought about just placing a short order to begin with. Not like a short order cook, but... And we can see here if I go in short on that first short signal. We got that 200, that would 20 or 16 takes $200 and we'll continue going. If we had trailed it down, I think it's gone like, let's look. Ooh. Yeah, it's gone 50 ticks, so $625. A nice move. Gold has pulled back here somewhat. Oh, well, it did. Now a big move back up. 1 for 1 so far on the night is a good way to start. Market seems a little subdued, so not sure how much we may get, but we shall see. You can see so far, if I had just taken the 3 short signals that have fired since the open on NQ, we would have got 15 points each time. So if I had the guts to do that with a full NQ contract, it would have been, I mean, it's running 150 points, I'm sorry, $150 stop, and I don't like to lose more than $100. And unfortunately on that one, a 5-point stop would have stopped me out. It would have been safe on these two though. But anyway, one regular NQ contract, we would already be up $900. And could basically be calling it a night. Now that would be a boring stream because I would have to slip through over the sim, but that's a good problem to have. So you'll hear me say a lot, for those of you that are new, these are trades I should have taken. Copper continuing to fall. Maybe we'll get back all of yesterday. See what Crude's doing. Crude's been a little spotty so far tonight. What did Crude do today? I didn't really look. Remember where I put Crude? There. There's Crude. Crude. Oop. There's my other yellow line. There we go. So Crude on the day, the day that we just completed. A little over 2 points in range. Beautiful reversal there that would have been awesome to catch. Coming down about 50 ticks. And a nice reversal here. See it on the RSI Bollingers both times. It broke those bottom, or the Bollinger Bands, and right at the 70-30 lines broke the Bollinger Bands on the regular chart. That both of these areas were A+ setups. Speaking of A+ setups, let's see HG. Big moves down. Here on the 5-minute chart, it's below. This is the hard ones that you can't really tell where they want to start reversing. You can see copper's come down hard. It's below the 20 line. It's below the Bollinger Band on the RSI. It's hitting the Bollinger here. It looks like we're probably going to reverse, but you don't want to try and figure out exactly where. You don't want to catch a falling knife, as they say. So you kind of wait for the first hints of green if you try a reversal play. There's a hint of green. Let's check what the... That's a small hint of green. Never mind, still coming down red. Well extended down on the 1 minute chart here as well. That is one heck of a move down, as you can see, and it's almost straight down. No, wasn't even really any pullbacks along the way. Uh, Good question, Helen. From my testing, usually not, but I have to adjust my profit target and my stop losses. Like during the U.S. hours for like let's say Nasdaq, I'm usually looking for 20 to 30 points with at least a 15-point stop loss, which is why I have to use micros because I'm not willing to have a $300 stop loss on a regular NQ. But like at this time of night, I'm usually running no more than like a 7 to 8 point stop loss and looking for 10 to 15 points. So you got to just adjust your targets and your stops. At least that's, I mean, you adjust it for the type of volume you're getting and the size candles you're getting at the time. Now there are some evenings that when things were really wild a couple weeks ago, you were seeing daytime candles at nighttime. So at that point, I had to increase my targets and stops. I mean, a lot of people don't like trading the evenings because of this, the slowness, less volatility. I seem to things seem to be easier because I mean, I don't trade the open at all. I just stay out of it until it seems like it wants to calm down, which sometimes can be a full half an hour after the open. And actually, because I gotta earn money during the day, I can't do it yet. But it actually seems like trading the European session, overnight, like from midnight to into the open, things seem to trend more during the overnight. It seems like overnight's much easier to trade. And if once I get funded, I may end up like trading, sleeping during the day and then trading overnight because I don't have a life, so I can do that. Now there are some things that are not worth trading in the evening. Usually, like here you can see the UltraBond. Here during the day, the UltraBond has nice big, nice full candles. But you can see here in the evening, it's just mostly dashes and has like no volume. Then with like usually like with natural gas isn't as spotty tonight as it normally is, but even the Russell can get spotty in the evenings. Do you have specific assets you like to trade, Helen? Have you found something you liked? Crude giving us a signal. Yeah, Crude's been coming down nicely as well here. That would have been an easy win right there. And obviously still going. That makes sense. Yeah, I've noticed lately that yeah, I keep a Bitcoin chart up here. I watch Bitcoin, and a lot of times Nasdaq and Bitcoin are moving in the same direction. Same ebbs and flows, which is surprised me because I don't think it used to do that, but it seems like it's a lot more correlated lately. Nasdaq seems to be leveling off now from this move down. See if we're going to consolidate. Looking at a bunch of sideways right now. Gold sideways after its move up. Never really did a big pullback like I was expecting, but it has come to the SMA line. I'm personally rooting for Shiba Inu to continue going up because I've been using a program on my computer to mine it, and I have like 700,000 Shiba Inu. So if it ever actually did get to a penny, which I never expected to, I don't ever expect it to do anything. It's just fun, and if it ever does do a move like Doge did last year, that would be awesome. Kind of slow right now. Patience is a virtue. To watch for our next opportunity. We're seeing uh, the indices kind of pull up a little bit here. We'll have to see whether or not this is a reversal, a consolidation, or if it's just a pullback, and we'll continue downward. Oh, I agree with that. I also like some of the blockchain projects, some of the crypto projects. Like I really like the idea of the Helium network, and eventually I want to get a Helium miner. I like that, especially with what they're planning with 5G. Yeah, I mean, whoever thought Dogecoin would end up hitting like 75 cents at one point? People that had Doge, a crap load of Doge when it was like at the price Shiba Inu is at now. I mean, they ended up winning big time. And you never know what Elon Musk is gonna tweet. Gold, try to curl down here. flirting with sending me a short signal. I don't know about it though. I mean, it came up nicely here, pulled back, up, pulled back, up, pulled back, up. It's a kind of a weird constant MW pattern here. Broken through the SMA line now. These candles are got big gaps between them, and the volume is very light. You never can tell with Elon, really. His just a bit eccentric. Hello, Muffin Hands. Haven't seen you in a while. How you been? I think the weirdest part of the internet is, being able to, address someone by like Muffin Hands or some of the other things and being totally okay with it. So, watching and waiting here for our next possible entry. Remember, everybody, that patience is key in trading. You don't want to take a trade out of boredom, or in my case, because I want to, entertain the audience. I hate it when there's nothing going on and I see a big audience here and I can't provide any other entertainment value. I can't sing. You don't want to see me dance. So we just wait and hopefully people keep chatting enough that I have something decent to talk about. Mostly I go by the alerts. It looks like I might be heading back down further here. So I mean, I've been over relying on the alerts maybe a bit. I've been trying to not rely on them as much, and I end up getting myself in trouble. There's one other thing that I kind of watch for now on the 5-minute charts. I'll show you a good example of it today on silver that I missed. Let's go back here, right here. If you see here, hold on, let me get this volume out of my way. So you see here, I have the RSI down here at the bottom. Not sure why it won't move up on me, but okay. Okay, either way. See, the RSI broke the 70 line, broke the Bollinger Band right there. Boom. We also came down through the Bollinger Band there on the regular chart. So this is what I consider a really good setup. You're at the, the 30 line, broke the band here. So there's a great chance of a reversal. I jumped in there on that end of this candle and into this candle here. That would have been $250 upwards candle on silver. So I'm looking for that on a 5-minute chart or above. This is a very high percentage play, it appears. Just breaking this Bollinger Band I have around there, this is set at 2.75 standard deviations, is also a good chance of a reversal. I consider it a B setup. You see it did reverse here, but it doesn't always necessarily reverse. And it didn't break the band down here. Now here would have been good. And the best play so far, now I haven't been taking a lot of these yet because I just basically found this a couple weeks ago and started tracking it. But if you're going to go for something like this, you want to, set a really tight stop loss, especially on something like silver. I would have set like a four tick stop loss there. Or if this had a longer wick, I would have set it below or at the how far that went down. That's one thing I look for that doesn't really have the buy and sell alerts. You can often get, if you can catch those, you can get in sometimes a couple of candles before the signals signals fire. I love not being able to get my words out. Hello, Stephen Nichols. Sorry about Nightbot's warning. What did you have to say? It doesn't like if you talk in all caps. Or a lot of caps. Actually, I don't know what gets it mad, but hey. So Crude's continuing to move down as well. And we did see another leg down here on NQ. So this is where I do got to get better, either at staying in a trade or knowing when to get back. And we had a little bit of a pullback consolidation here, but not much. And as you can see, this from this signal now, we've gone 35 points, 40 points, something around there. Right there, yeah, about 37 points. The more you stare at charts, you do start noticing the patterns. And another pattern I've been noticing and starting to watch for. Let me see if I can find one here. This one here, if you look here, we had this big move up. It came down a little bit, back up a little bit, and then flush down. Now this one doesn't exactly usually down, and then doesn't get back above the highs. But once it goes back up a little bit and then flushes back below the SMA line, it's usually an indication you're going to start heading down. Now in this case, we got the short signal there at the same time, but often you won't see the short signal fire until over here, or you might even see it fire here before it goes up and then comes down. So that's another pattern I'm watching for. Once I'm funded and I'm making this work better for myself, I will start doing some videos explaining this stuff. But, I'm not real comfortable doing that yet because while I know my strategy works, I just haven't put it into play yet. And I don't want to be like telling people, this is a good idea before I can show that it is a good idea. Hey Lennox, how you doing, bud? 1 win so far for like 49 dollars. Did you trade today, Lennox? How did you do? Be interested to see how far Nasdaq falls. We're down now. We opened up at 62 and we're down 89, so we've fallen about 70 some points so far. Remember, folks, that tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, inflation report comes out. I will be live streaming tomorrow morning. I come live at 7:30 Eastern. But the inflation report is the big news item of this week. Will, depending on what the report says, you could see the market head down because they're going to, if it's the inflation still running real hot, they're going to expect the next Fed meeting that they'll could drop interest rates as much as increase interest rates by as much as half a point. Oh, welcome, Steve. Glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. Looking for something to give us an opportunity. You know, the problem, one of the problems is when everything is trending. You know, like right now, everything is heading down. You don't want to jump in just at a random spot because, you know, whenever I try to jump in with something's trending without a decent signal, it seems to be that's where things reverse. A good reversal play, if I had been watching the chart, 1 minute it was down below the 30 line, it broke the Bollinger Band. It actually didn't break the third band on this chart, but you see this is reversed now. 61 up to 72. So, I mean, it's reversed about 10 ticks. Still trying to head up. All green is good, Lennox. All green is good. Well, unless it's mold on bread. So you are getting a long signal on crude here, but we still are strongly downtrending until it proves that it's straightening out, not taking that against the trend. My eventual strategy or like this. Like I said, I'll be looking for 15 points here, and I would have gotten it 3 times if I had entered. We did get that one trade. I should have held for 15. I got in late, so maybe but either way. My eventual strategy, though, is to run at least 2 contracts, if not 3. Shoot for the 15 points with one, and then run a trailing stop on the other 2, or just a break-even stop and just manage to trade down, where you could catch more of the move, or even, this could be one whole move instead of 3 separate ones. And from here, 047 down to, obviously not going to catch the exact bottom. Let's say you got out here and it got back to the SMA line or something like that. Yeah, it's a 75-point move. That's $1,500. That's my eventual goal, is to take profit with one and then trail the other 2, maybe at different lengths, phase out one and let one run as far as it seems to want to. See here that copper actually sent that short signal on the 5-minute chart on the very first candle, but it did reverse first. It broke that third band, reversed, and then it's gone down since. That's $1,000 drop. Not the button I wanted to hit. There we go. Speaking of copper. Oh, interesting. Copper came up a little bit, is now sending us a short signal back down. As we're going to go for a second leg. Let me find a copper chart. See if we can give back our gains. Sell the ask. We're filled. I got in just a bit late there. I should have marketed in. Got in 2 ticks late. We'll see how we do. Looking for 16 ticks with an 8-tick stop. So it's $200 profit or $100 stop. Oops. Let me zoom that area in a little bit better so you can see it a little better. There we go. We're up 1 tick so far. Could be also a reversal area. Sometimes it'll come down, look like it's going to come down more, then just kind of curl back up. We'll see what happens. Pull back by 3 ticks. Our stop's right about the SMA line. Don't like the looks of this, but we're going to give it a try. I mean, Crude also came up and came back down. Might have been the better play. We're 2 ticks from being stopped. One tick from okay, we just got stopped out. $100 loss. I'm wrong. We got slippage on that, so $112 loss. 9 ticks instead of 8. So our $49 green went to $63.50 red. And what had happened there is exactly what I was afraid of, where I said maybe this is just going to curl down, curl back up. Might still head down. Maybe my stop was too tight. We'll see. Nasdaq's kind of sideways now. Everything's kind of taking a breath. About 12 minutes until the next top of the hour. About percentage is a buy signal. Obviously, I'm not going to take that here. Not just 4 minutes after it sent us that short signal. Wait till it stops squeezing and consolidating there. Gold doing the same thing. Gotta wait until it has better price action. I probably should have waited there as well. I mean, the only reason I jumped in there was mainly because we were already below where it exhausted earlier. So I thought this was just going to be the next leg down. Kind of like what we've seen NASDAQ do. Over here, the NQ's had 2 pullbacks on this move down. It came down here, pulled back. Speaking of NQ, came down here, pulled back, and came down here. This could be the next pullback. We'll see. It is trying to send us a buy signal there. But we see with these downtrending bands, SMA is still slightly downtrending. So we need to see conviction on that before, and that it can bend those bands back and start expanding them back out before we take a long. Copper is trying to convince me it wants to go long, but like I said, we're going to wait. Of course, now it's already going 7 ticks. Let's just go where I wanted the last one to go. 11 ticks. There's a long signal there on the NQ as well. Again, like I said, need to see that it really can get everything moving up. It looks like it might. Well, crap. Not a real big candle there. We'll see if these are missed opportunities on my part. Our green, we're turning red there on copper. During the slow period, just a quick reminder, starting Monday evening, I'll be trading Earn the Trade's newest product, Trader Career Path. Starting off with the eval, it's a 25K eval. And we'll try and continue moving up the ladder. Slowly but surely. No, not gonna do anything that require a reset, hopefully. Just gonna trade micros at first because of the tight stop loss, tight daily stop and drawdown. And I would love if you all decide to, get yourself a career path account and trade with me. All trades on that account will only happen when I'm live streaming. So even if I seen the perfect setup after I was done streaming, I would not take it. I will still be trading the Gauntlet account, the one I'm trading now as well. But we're going to focus when on stream on this career path. And hopefully move from 25K into a funded account, 25K, 50K, 100K, and eventually the 200K. Follow along each day. Or we can trade together if you decide to join me. So we only got, that went up, that move there in copper went up 14 ticks, pulled back, see if it makes another leg up. Everything's really tight right now. Remember everyone, you're free to say hello in the chat. Questions, comments are always welcome. Banter. So I'm not just sitting here silently, you're listening to me breathe. We're seeing things kind of spread out a little bit. Gold's kind of at a decent size candle down. Yeah, that does happen every now and then. The ES is trying to pull back to a short signal. So was this one long pullback, and now we're going to head down, continue to head down. Getting that short signal there on NQ as well. Let's take a closer look at this. It's getting below that recent low, but the low of the move ended up being at 86, 85. We're at 91. Just not sure if we're gonna go up then down and just like maybe keep band bouncing here if this is another move down. Gonna wait to see if we get another red candle. Right now we do have a bounce. Oh, we did. copper. Short signal, but we're at the SMA with small candles there. Gold. Sending us a long signal, but you can see these candles are really small, 1 or 2 ticks. Not much of a range right now. Definitely nothing exciting happening right now, though we are 2 minutes from top of the hour. Might see some increased volatility there. All's quiet on the western front. There's the top of the hours. A little bit of volatility, but nothing major so far. Getting a long signal here on copper again. Should we tempt fate and try copper again? So not much of the top of the hour didn't really bring us any increased action. Crude. Been heading up since that bounce. Now pull back below its SMA line again. So gold's expanding now. This long signal here, it's going up 5 ticks so far. Now, I didn't take it, obviously, because we were in this range. Looking like it's trying to break up through that range now. It's right at that where that move exhausted. See if they can break through there and go on. This is the high of the session so far. Nasdaq's completely sideways right now. There's the long signal again on copper. I don't know. If I take that signal, I don't think I'm going to go for 16 ticks. I think I'm going to go for a quick scalp. Trying for 5 or 6. It's not moving up like with fast velocity. Copper chart's ready to go. We're not going to use a market order. We're going to go in on the bid. Signal just went away and back. Waiting because it's pulling back. It's really wishy-washy right now. So you got tightening bands as well. There's only like, I mean, the Bollinger Band is sitting only 5 ticks from the price action. We'll hold off. We see Nasdaq's coming down, but it just broke the Bollinger. See if it makes me regret not taking that short signal. Monitor it. Reversed by about 6 points. My 7.5 point stop would have kept me in. Let's see if it ends up going 15. I'm not sure I want to jump in here yet. I mean, this is the exact level, just about of where I would have got in on that short signal. So maybe if this candle turns back to red, we'll jump in on that. Let's continue to watch the copper there. Yep, see there was that red that I expected on copper. It's no follow through right now. Everything's just kind of hanging out. I've used them and tried using them in the past. Not really a fan. I like to know what the real price action is instead of the way it averages. Okay, that did reverse up. No excitement here right now. I've played with a MACD to at times. I was never really a fan of, and I mean, I was never a fan of RSI either. Now I have just to about those reversals. Do I use volume profile? No, not really. I have not really learned the volume profile and all that. It's something that I might try to learn at some point. Problem is, if you're looking at too many different things, you end up not being able to process it all. And especially if you're working off a 1 minute chart, you need to be able to process the important information to be able to quickly jump in. Wait, 4650? Steve? Do you mean ES? Yeah, I do look at support and resistance a lot, and I find out, when I go back through my trades, or when I go back through the charts and see trades I would have taken, I don't look at support and resistance, and I find out that maybe I'm better off not looking at support and resistance. Like when I'm doing this, if I'm going through and marking these off, I don't look at support and resistance. And like here, you can see like last night, you know, this was last night at this time. A short trade here would have worked. Wouldn't have taken that one, wouldn't have taken that one just because of where it was in the chart. So this would have worked, this would have failed, that would have worked, as you can see, big time. And that would have worked. So, like last night, it was like 4 out of 5 trades. Tonight so far, you know, let's look at support and resistance. So here, we saw this resistance here. It broke. Some I don't know. Maybe I would have waited to get. If I waited to get in, yeah, it would have worked. But it worked either way. Here there was support. So if I waited to break that support, I wouldn't have got the 15 points off that. And then here, it did. There was support here. It did bounce a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I could have waited till it broke, but sometimes I find out waiting for it to break a support or resistance costs me enough points that I don't hit my profit target. So I mean, I do look at it. I do have it up on my screen here. Yeah, there's about anywhere between a 5 and 10 second delay on YouTube. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I can't swing trade. I gotta, close all trades by the afternoon. So obviously, I just look for the short-term trades. Plus, I wouldn't get any sleep if I held a something overnight. So we are seeing here everything is sideways. We have no excitement whatsoever. So does anyone want to watch me chart? Chart out crude oil from this morning. Looks like I already charted out crude oil from this morning. Well, we can continue to chart out crude oil from the afternoon. Looking for 20, would have got that there. 10 points, 10 tick stop. Ooh, maybe a win they got that there, really? 10 ticks there might have been too tight. Or maybe, yeah, it would have been. Alright, well that would have been a loss. That would have been a win for 20 ticks. Could have gone further. You can see, these signals are usually pretty decent, which is why I like them. And eventually, I really do believe I can build a strategy around this that I can teach others. But I just gotta get the guts to continue trading it without the fear I have that my psychology gets in my way. So you can see here, like here, this is a two to one reward to risk. And this would have been 3 trades in a row that I would have got at least 20 ticks. So that's $600 in those trades. Now we did have this stop out, but here is another one. So 4 out of 5 wouldn't have taken that signal, would not have taken that signal. Go back here. This one obviously to work for 70 ticks, but 20, that would have been a stop out. So the morning session, which I consider starting at 6, because that's when I wake up, wouldn't have taken either of those signals. This is the first signal I would have taken. It would have stopped me out. And by the way, these 2 losses with a stop of 15 ticks instead of 10, they would have both been winners. So if I had been running a 15 tick stop, we would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wouldn't have taken this one. That would not have reached. So 7 in a row before this loss. If I was using a 15, if I would use a 15 tick stop. If not, it would have been 5 wins, 2 losses, which is still 1,000. It would have been $800. Would have taken that one. May have taken that one. We'll consider that a loss. Shouldn't have. What I'm finding is if once you get one up, you get boom, boom, and then you see like this up, down. That might be considered an ABCD pattern. I have to look that up. So anyway, we got 2 losses in a row potentially. Anyway, we got another win. That would have also, I mean, you can see that if we had stayed in the trade and could have got like 60. I don't know if I would have taken this one. I'm pretty sure it'd be a winner. But when it comes down this hard, this fast, it often means a reversal. It did kind of reverse, but it wouldn't have been enough of a reversal to stop us out. Oh, maybe it would have? Oh, it would have. 63 up to now. It would not have. Well, it depends. If I would gotten any slippage getting in, it would have stopped me out. So I'll tell you that's a loss. Then we have another win here. This is why I really like these signals. And obviously, go back down to 20. Would not have taken that. Would not have taken that. And then it starts actually, yeah, then we're at the cutoff time. So overall, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 5, 4, 6, 4, 7, 4, 7, 5. So 7 and 5 overall, using a 2 to 1 risk to reward. It could have been 9 to 3 using a 1.5 to 1. that's why I like these signals. They offer a very good win rate if you're brave enough to take them, and and you can weed out the ones that you shouldn't take, and that's the hardest part because when you're looking at the chart, you got to really figure out which ones you're not supposed to take. And that can, a split-second decision sometimes. If you're running a 1-minute chart, you get, less than 1 minute when the signal fires. Figure out. Now, a lot of trades you don't need to get right in on that minute. You see, like here, you would have been fine. Here, most of these trades you could have got in on the next candle. But still, making the quick decision is the hardest part. It's really easy to look back on the chart and say, this would have worked, this would have worked. So you got to be, when I'm doing this, I'm trying to be as hard as taking this trade here. I said I probably wouldn't have, but I counted this as a loss anyway. That way, remember, when you're running a 2-to-1, you can be wrong 66% of the time and break even. This was, at worst, 7 wins, 5 losses, which is 75 by 12. That's a 58% win rate. It would $900 if you'd taken all those trades. $900 profit on one contract. Now, I'll probably never be brave enough to run 9 contracts, but when I'm funded on this Gauntlet account, that's what my max will be, 9 contracts. So if I run 9 contracts, if I just focused on crude and ran the 9 contracts on every one of these trades, and crude is liquid enough to be able to get in with 9 contracts without much slippage. So $900 times 9, it's 8,100. That, that's the type of thing that excites me. Not because I don't even care that much about being rich. I want to be comfortable, but I really want to be able to start giving to charity. I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to, teach people something that's repeatable. But I also think that's one of the reasons that I'm struggling at times because I fear the failure of not being able to do that. One of the best ways to not technically fail is to not try. That's not getting me anywhere. And yes, I'm kind of rambling because there's nothing going on. And I'm making you all be my therapists. That's your penance for not chatting when it's slow. But in all seriousness, I do want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. Coming up on about 9:30, we'll probably stream for another hour or so. See? Hey, Lennox. Yeah, I did miss that signal in Crude. I'm not sure how. It's probably when I was rambling. That'd been nice to catch. Trying to figure out what TradingView did to their app. That makes everything whenever you switch a tab. Makes, it used to be I switched a tab and nothing had to load. Now all of a sudden, every time I switch tabs, all the indicators have to load. See, right there. It takes forever. Do you trade Crude Linux? I forget. Do you just watch it, or do you use it as a tool for gauging something else? By the way, this is the reason I get frustrated with myself. So now on NQ, we've had 4 sell signals, 4 short signals. I really wish these didn't say buy and sell. I wish they said long and short. But anyway, that's 4. And all 4 have gone 15 points. Which means that just going in with 1 NQ contract each time, regular NQ, 300, 600, 900, 1200. Yeah, it continues to push down. Wonder if it's going to reverse in the European session, or where it's going to find the bottom. But where did we find bottom yesterday? We're still well above yesterday's bottom. This was yesterday's bottom, I believe, or at least the last bottom. That's that 46.50. That's what you're talking about. Now I know. Next time say 946.50 so I have a clue what you're talking about. Sorry, I didn't look back to yesterday to see where that level was you were talking about. I heard 46 and I was thinking ES, so I thought maybe you were mixing them up. So that's the major support area. We do have this one as well. This is a support at 88. Oh, we're actually below that already. Never mind. So we can erase that line. And maybe this one here. So 63 then 46. Yeah, they do have micros, although, I mean, I admit the micros don't excite me much on gold and oil, just because, a dollar a tick. I've been going back and forth the whole micro thing in my mind. I've been sticking with micros, but the commissions really suck when we earn a trade with micros. $1.66. If I'm running like 3 micros, that means I'm paying almost like $5.50. I end up, a lot of times, paying like 10% of commission or more if I'm taking a loss, obviously. And it was like, you know what? This micro is awesome. I went 20 points. Hey, I made $50. I could have made 400 if I just had the guts to go into the regular size contract. So I've been fighting myself with that too. Oh, it's okay, Steve. That's okay. Just been a miscommunication. It was like keep saying 46.50. Where's 46.50 at? Big move there. All of a sudden on copper, popped up 11 ticks. Sure where that came from. Oh yeah, I forgot. Lennox, I forgot you were trading on an actual um, brokerage. Totally forgot about the whole margin thing. um, Whenever in the future, if I'm ready for a regular brokerage account, I'll probably will start with AMP. AMP seems to be a good one. Unless I just stick with like getting 30 prop accounts like some people have. Silver. Silver and gold. Silver popping up here. It's hitting that top band on the RSI. This looks like a reversal. It's not worth trying to jump in on silver at this time of night though. For a quick reversal. I mean, I think this might reverse. If it reverses, I don't mess too much with silver yet because of that $25 tick value. Though I'm still upset about that missing that reversal earlier today. What's NQ doing? NQ is trying to pop up. as is the ES. Now, why am I hesitating on the NQ? Look at this. It's well above the Bollinger Band here, and it's into the third band. And top it off, it's into the band on the 5 minute as well. Big move up here. This candle's bigger than any candle we've seen in the last half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour. So I expect this to reverse on this next candle. We'll see if I'm right. Looks like I might be wrong. Well, we'll see. It's pushed up 2 points so far, so it's not like this is like devastating so far. I forget what your U profit with U profit Linux. Still watching. I think there's reversal. Yep, here's the potential reversal. We finished that 5 minute candle. You can see how this was trying to come up and hit the SMA line on the 5 minute. So let's see if this reverses like I expect it to. I hate it when I do that. Hasn't really reversed a bunch. Only 2 points. So we'll keep an eye on that. But, you know, one thing I want to bring up is the main reason I started doing evening streams is because, you know, you hear a lot of traders say, well, you just can't make money in the evenings. There's no way to make money. Not enough volatility. There's not enough volume. There's not enough liquidity. There's not enough whatever. But this proves right here that there's money to be made in the evening sessions. And I started doing these evening sessions mainly to give hope to those people that have the 9 to 5 jobs that can't be in front of their computer on a phone on any type of device while working 9 to 5 or whatever, 7 to 3, 9 to 5, whatever. And obviously, because they work a 9 to 5 job, they can't stay up during the night. They can't, maybe they can jump on for right before in the morning or whatever. But basically, there's a subset of people out there that their only opportunity to trade might be in the evenings. And I want to show that there is, I just did it, okay, I did, that there is a possibility that you can make money in the evenings. It's a little harder. Some people, I mean, it might not even be a little harder. I find trading around the open hard. I mean, all trading is hard, but I'm just saying, in my opinion, in futures, there's opportunities almost every part of the day. In my opinion, there's more opportunity in the evenings, most evenings, than there is oftentimes from like noon or 1 o'clock into the close. Some days it's nice, but oftentimes you see things just kind of range for 2 or 3 hours. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to prove is that trading can be done any time of the day. I don't want people to feel like, well, they can't trade because they can't be online for the New York session. They can't be online for when the bell rings. You just gotta be a little more picky. Like I said, there's things you can't trade in the evening. I mean, UltraBond, you can trade, but you're gonna get slippage and you're gonna have wide spreads. I mean, there's some things that have really wide spreads. Let's see, do I have a chart up for that? Like I think platinum, platinum you're seeing a 7-6 tick spread, so you wouldn't want to trade that. Like heating oil, which actually looks like is something if I ever start trading overnight, I really want to get into. But heating oil has like a 15 tick spread. So, it's those type of things you want to stay away from. But, ES and Q, gold, uh, crude, is all got enough liquidity to trade and trade profitably. Even copper. I mean, if you look at copper's DOM, it's kind of thin, but you don't really get much slippage. You don't see a wide, at most you see a 2 tick spread. Eventually, when I no longer have to worry about making money during the day, I've said this earlier tonight that I'll probably, do a lot more overnight trading into still do my streams, what the schedule I have now, but, do overnight trading, stream in the mornings into the bell and then sleep during the day. But I'll probably do maybe one or two overnight streams to show people that, you know, that are up that time of the day that they could too be trading. I did one overnight stream once. Didn't get a lot of viewership. That was early on in this whole streaming thing, like within the first month. And I did fall asleep once for about 10 minutes, but So, copper snuck up on me here. It made this big move down, which was huge, but it's gained almost all of it back. Yeah, that's why I say, people ask me why futures, why not trade stocks? And in my opinion, I mean, eventually I'll probably trade stocks, but maybe not day trade them. But although I might look for like news breakouts and stuff while I'm trading futures. But for the most part, stocks was frustrating. It's hard to go short. I mean, you got to find shares to borrow. You got to pay borrow fees. Yeah, the PDT rule, which is this PDT rule is so stupid. It's just futures is just easier to trade in my opinion. Not to mention you only have like 20 assets to watch with futures. You only like with stocks you're trying to figure out which one of the 1,000 is the good one for that day. What are you LOLing, Steve? Sorry for the lack of action tonight, folks. We could try and chart out what gold did. Yeah, I just got frustrated with, there was the PDT rule, because obviously I didn't have $25,000 to throw in an account. So I was always like so scared to, get into a trade and it ended up being a bad trade and having to get out and blowing one of my three for the week. 3-day trades for the week. Yeah, that's basically what I plan on doing, especially some dividend stocks and all that. You see, even chart out gold here. The short signal, this is the first signal that fired. It was below the SMA line, so I would have jumped, if I was trading then, I would have jumped in there. And it would have gave me my 16 ticks that I'm looking for. Although, honestly, at this point in time, I probably should have been looking for less, and it just barely gave me the 16 ticks. So if any slippage or whatnot, I wouldn't have got 16 ticks. You might be saying, once you look here, why this buy signal and not this buy signal? This was still below the SMA line. The SMA line was still downtrending. You weren't getting big candles here, so I wouldn't have taken that short, especially as close as it was to the band. Why would I have taken this long? It popped back above the SMA, and it might have been iffy for me because things are kind of flat there. But I could have waited for confirmation, seen that big candle up there, and jumped in there. And I still would have got 16 ticks. Why 16? I don't know. I decided on 16 when I was doing my research, and I've just kind of stuck with it. I don't, you think I'll go with 15, but I've went with 16 because I'm weird. Then I would not have taken that short signal. You just still haven't told me what you're laughing about, Steve. And this would have failed. This, well, I'm pretty sure I shouldn't say that. But yeah, I can. Let's see. Actually, it would still be in this trade right now. It would be up 4 ticks. So we'll see where that goes. Hey, we got some signals in the indices. Let's see what's going on. We see this. We got the buy signal that really didn't work out. Consolidated. Excuse me. Oh, why my mouth is so dry tonight? So we're getting a short signal here. It is through the SMA line. We do have these upward trending bands, but you see we had upward trending bands here as well, and that ended up working, but it did reverse some first. Every short signal that's fired tonight so far has worked. But past performance is not indicative of future. What signal did I just knock down? UltraBond. See copper, big pullback there. Did send us a short signal. It's bouncing off the SMA line. Oh yeah, but I mean, you'll see a lot more, especially if you look around the internet, you see a lot more people trying to day trade stocks, and there's some successful people at it. Ross from Warrior Trading, he's one of the guys I watched when I first started trying to learn to trade. You know, Obviously he's successful at it, but I mean, I've come to not like his strategy. Seems like sometimes he's just guessing and he just knows how to guess right a lot of times. A lot of times he's taking a loss, and I'm looking at the chart, and I'm like, why did you do that there? Not that I mean, obviously the guy's made millions, so I mean, I shouldn't be criticizing him. He knows what he's doing, but it's just like, huh? Yeah, I mean, once you've made a certain amount of money, obviously you're not going to worry about taking a big loss, and that takes some of the pressure off, and thus helps make you more of a successful trader. I'm worried about every tick, losing every tick, so I end up stressing about it more, and it causes me to be too cautious. Once I'm day trading uh, from my yacht laying on a mattress made of $100 bills, I won't mind going in with, 100 lots on NQ. Just kidding. So NQ send us that short signal has kind of crawled down to the bottom band. So this is where I kind of expect to bounce. I don't think it's just going to go straight, continue with that straight line down. I'm watching copper kind of do the same thing, but it kind of curled up its SMA line and then went back through it. Has a 200 EMA sitting there. Copper charts in the one in the upper right hand corner. See if those bands straighten out. It might say it sent us that short signal. See if it continues to want to head down. NQ might be making a fool of me here. We approach the 10 o'clock hour. First, I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. Probably go for another 30 minutes or so, or if there's anything exciting that's happening, go longer. I think I should have taken that short signal on NASDAQ, but we'll see. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow morning again, 7:30 Eastern. Friday morning as well. Tomorrow morning, we get the inflation report. That should send the market going a little wild. Might try my 10 point above, 10 point below move like I did on FMLC. for the CPI report. See if we can nail a big move. Definitely be more action in the morning than here at night. Morning, I'm watching, at least 8 assets: gold, copper, oil, uh, oil, natural gas. There we go. Nasdaq, ES, Russell, and the UltraBond. This time of night I eliminate the bonds and at least and natural gas. I pretty much eliminate the Russell as well. This Nasdaq, it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's gone more than it has. It's only gone down, well, 4 points now, but it's really starting to look like it wants to head down. And I'm thinking I should have just. I think I should not have doubted it. Oh wow, where'd that come from out of the blue? Look at that. Now it just reversed right away. Oh, right at the top of the hour. Usually you don't get that at 10 o'clock. Interesting. But would not have given us 15 yet. See where that goes. See if that ends up reversing there or if continues. By the way, if you're here from YouTube, definitely appreciate a thumbs up. I do have one person that seems to have a vendetta against me. Someone that comes in every day and hits a downvote on my streams. That was interesting. That was an interesting move there, right at the top of the hour. Now we have gold giving us a signal in the 5 minute. And looking like it wants to reverse off of that there. That's only a 5 tick candle, so it's not going to be much of a reversal if it does reverse. Gold coming back down. So if we had gotten in here off this long signal, we'll be just right at break even. Now it's interesting, I don't look too much at this RSI on the 1 minute chart. It's there for a little bit of reference, but if you see it broke through the Bollinger here on this big red candle, if we had played that reversal and got in here instead of here, we would have got in 7 ticks sooner. We got it there. Still wanted to reach 16 ticks, Possibly right now 16 is too much. I possibly should be running 10 and 5. Or 10 and 7. It's coming down pretty harsh now. I shouldn't say that. It's like these are only 1 or 2 tick candles. They look bigger. Nasdaq still heading down. So I should have, maybe there's just some nights no matter where you get the short signal, you should take it. Because now it's looking like this is going to be our 5th short in a row that works. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of excitement going on right now. Not at all. So, for now, you can watch me chart out this morning's session of the UltraBond. Oh, I already did that too? Boy, I was busy this morning. I don't remember. have taken that. Wouldn't have taken that. I wouldn't have taken that. That. What signal was that? Gold. That one would have stopped me out. Would have taken that, which actually would have worked after that pullback. Would have taken that. Would have. Would have taken that. I probably would not have taken that, even though you can see that would have worked. But I probably wouldn't have taken it because it happened just 2 minutes after a short signal. Well, look at here. This is another good example of that reversal play. Big break of the band here in the RSI, as well as a band break here. Touched the 70 line. Could have been a great reversal play. Now, only been 5 ticks. So, but still, that would have been a great reversal play. Now, I'm not sure what the heck happened there. It's been bond auction day or something. Big move up. And you see it went through there again. This would have been a great reversal play. Been a little bit more daring to do, but it ended up going down 13 ticks. So wouldn't have taken that. Wouldn't have taken that. Well, wanted to see it break back above. This I would have, and this would have stopped me out, I think. Maybe not. Really? Wow. No, that wouldn't have stopped me out. See? That's why I just gotta start trading this better, more, whatever. That probably should have stopped me out on that wick, honestly. I wouldn't have taken that. That would have worked. But I wouldn't have taken it, not with the downtrending bands. Who gave us 5 ticks? And this whole 3-tick stop, now I would have stopped me out as well before going. Been a nice big move to catch. But only trying to lose less than $100 or less, I can't go more than 3 ticks on the stop. Better strategy there would be to, set the stop. If you've gotten in here, setting the stop at the high, previous high here. So, like right about there. And then if you're still looking for 2 to 1, 12 ticks, and you would have got it. But I'm not willing to do a $186 stop. But even so, okay, so this was a loss, this was a loss. So 0-2, 1-2. Wouldn't have taken any of these. 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3, 6-3. 6 and 3 of ones I would have taken over the final 6 hours of the session. And you can see, like I said, Treasury, I'm not sure what the spread right now is on the bonds, But you can see here, it has, I mean, it's moved nicely. But how would I have known that this is the place to get in? I could have waited till I got above the 200 EMA. So gotten in, say, on that candle there. Three points, three tick stop would have worked, and this is gone. 24 ticks. At $31 a tick. About $700, $800. So anyway, in more gut busting news, 5 straight short signals worked for 15 points. Boom, 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 boom. So 75 points right here. Not including anything extra. So as you see, this one went like 30, more than 30. Oh my God. Are you okay? Is everything okay? Did you get it out? Getting a buy signal here on NQ, but we see we're in the up, we'll expect a reversal there. Wow, that's scary. Uh, I take it the bacon's no longer edible. Why do you only have bacon in the house? Just haven't gotten to the store? Ah, oh wow. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. There's that reversal I said we are gonna see on the Nasdaq. I should have played it. It's 5 points, but I'm surprised it worked after the first time. Oh, you two know each other? I haven't looked in on agriculture tonight. Agriculture's up, trending nicely. Pardon the yawn. Now it's kind of interesting because we see, Nasdaq here is kind of came up, did do that reversal, but now it's trying to continue up. Sent us the buy signal there. Let's close that off because we got that 15. I think Nasdaq is just going to like make me regret not taking every signal. Let's chart it. Realize I could be rich tonight. Approaching 10:30. If nothing exciting happens, we'll probably cut it between 10:35 and 10:45 for the night. I like the streams that last about 3 hours. I started the stream at 7:35, so Oh, ES. I don't know. What's ES sending us? Why did that signal go off? What was that signal? Oh, I see. ES indicating it might reverse here. 5 minute, you can see on the 5 minute charts, it's just coming up to the SMA line on the 5 minute. But you can see how different that looks here on the 1 minute. Where it's already crossed the SMA, it looks like it wants to trend up. But on the 5 minute, you're seeing that we could be hitting resistance and pulling back. Still watching Crude Linux. Seems to be sideways now. Sideways, 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 sideways. You see, it's kind of reversed there, just a tad. A whole 3 ticks. Yep, it's slow. I mean, but like I said, there's been nice moves tonight that I just didn't take. If we look at quick synopsis of the night, 5 straight short signals worked. So I've been 5 short signals the entire night, and all 5 worked for 15 points. So if I just sat here and stared at the NQ chart all night, I would be up 75 points. Or if it was if that was one NQ contract regular, it's $1,500. Go over here to Copper. Copper had this big move down. Now, obviously, I wouldn't have stayed in one that move, but there have been at least 2 or 3 short signals I could have taken. That was $1,000 move down. Then it popped back up. Now, where would I have gotten in? You saw the buy signal fire here, pull back. Best time to get in there would have been after it rebroke the SMA. Follow it up. Then I could have followed it back down. It's sending us a signal again now. But I expect that to pull back before it may go. Gold really didn't give us much tonight. One good signal. Crude, of course, came down earlier, so it gave us a good signal as well. We could have got 20 ticks. 20, more than 20 ticks. At least two good crude trades. So there was definitely an opportunity tonight that I just didn't take advantage of. And there's that pullback I expected on copper. Yeah, I don't think it's going to recover from that. Copper now sending us the opposite signal. I kind of ignore that there because it doesn't know what it wants to do. Kind of look like an arm with a claw at the end. Sorry. That's what happens when I get bored. So, well, most of my trades are done in a few minutes. You can see if I had entered this long trade here on gold, I'd still be in it. And that would have been over an hour and a half ago. The worst part of that story is just the fact that the bacon became unedible. Up, NQ trying to move up. So it's gonna watch this signal end up being good as well. This long signal here. And watch it be that I could have got 6 out of 6 tonight if I just traded NQ and stayed through the signals. I need to hire somebody to trade my strategy for me. Didn't quite reach that 15 points, but it's sitting there. It's thinking about it. So at this point, we're just waiting to see whether or not that NQ would have reached their profit target. And then we'll probably cut the stream. That's just to let it rub into the fact that it could have had 90 points tonight on NQ. Hey, look at this, this gold over an hour and a half just to be at up 2 ticks at this point. I've made bacon in an oven. I've never really tried making it in a microwave. If I just did it, look at that. Just hit the profit target. So before I sign off, let's all laugh at me and look at this. Take a travel through the night. Short signal, 15 points. Pull back, would not have taken it. Short signal, 15 points. Pull back, would not have taken it. Short signal went almost over 35 points, but counted as 15. Pull back, wouldn't have taken it. Short signal, pull back again into the bands, wouldn't have taken it. Short signal would have taken this one because it wasn't real. Had room to go up to the bands at least. And it did pull back once and continued on 15 points. So potential of 90 points in the Nasdaq tonight. And I hit one trade on the Nasdaq on a micro and took the loss on copper. So we're finishing the night down $63. But we're back tomorrow morning to turn this red into green and maybe actually take some more signals and start turning this around. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight for the talk about various subjects, including bacon, microwaves, and fires. And I hope I'll see you all tomorrow morning, bright and early, too early. about 9 hours from now. Thank you all for joining me. Have yourselves a great evening. Bye.